Shall we begin?
Hi, this is Danny from CAIGE Inc. Here's Katrina. We're going to discuss Legion. If you guys haven't seen it, we're going to tell you what we think about it. Now, Katrina, what do you think of Legion?
Very interesting, to say the least. I came out of it not expecting to really know a whole lot in the first episode, but I think that we got a lot more information than what I originally thought we were going to put together. They definitely leave you with a lot to think about, and I have my own theories as to what's going on as far as even who's real and who's not.
I actually like the special effects in that show so far. I mean, one, we don't know. They mentioned some girl in the show, and he sees her, but then supposedly the other people don't see her. Like, they have no idea who's this girl. Like, they think he's hallucinating, but I think that she's probably like another mutant that could go through phase shift or whatever. And then at some point in the show, it looks like, oh, they see her, but then it's like, what's really going on? And then at some point they show that, oh, they switch bodies for a little bit, you know, because pretty much they're interviewing him in the office, and they're discussing like what happened. And so it's like, okay, where are we going with this? Is he imagining all this stuff, or this is actually happening to him, you know?
I see things, okay? It's not real, it's my brain.
I went from thinking that girl, her name is Sid. I went from thinking Sid was real to thinking she wasn't, to thinking she was again. What I think is going on is, we know he's an Omega level mutant. I think that she is a higher level mutant, and that's what the issue is. I don't know if she's also Omega level or something, but clearly she's lying to somebody about her backstory. I think she's involved in this organization that
Could be.
saved him at
Good
the
point.
end. I think she's kind of some double agent type thing. There's
Yeah.
more I think there's more going on with her.
Because at the end, the group of people just shows up. I don't remember.
Yeah, essentially she's like, you're going with us, and this is what's happening.
Because you're not some schizo dude. You are a mutant. It's like they're trying to tell him that, because they showed next week's episode, and they're gonna talk about most of that.
Yeah, we're talking about a time in history too, because this, I don't know if it's the 60s or the 70s that it's taking place. It looks like it could be either or, like late 60s, early 70s.
Honestly, I'm not sure what is the timeline, because when you see some of the guys with their suits and everything, it looks like
some of it looks a little
like
bit
90s
more
or even 2000s.
If I have to make a gripe, I think some of it looks a little bit more modern, and in certain parts, the part where she came to him and she's like, I'm projecting myself into your memory, that whole area, I'm like, that looks kind of modern, but everything else kind of gives you that vibe of the 60s. But that's okay. It's the first episode. We'll let that pass. It was a very long episode also. It was
great introduction though.
Over an hour. I mean, it could have been shorter, but I definitely didn't feel like
It's like 75 minutes.
it was probably about. I didn't think that it was long, but I didn't think that I was getting bored of it. It was keeping me intrigued. Now I like all the trippiness of it, all of the questions and all that other stuff, as long as they don't do something to you where it's like the movie Inception, where you start the movie and you're like, okay, I'm gonna come to some kind of resolution, I'm gonna figure it out, and at the very end they're like, no, you're never gonna figure it out, you're gonna be talking about this for the rest of your life. I hope it's not like that by the end of the series.
You gotta tune in season 2, and everything comes in the fold. It'll probably come.
Well, I hope in season 1 we at least know who's real and who's not. I understand that he has all these personalities, and we do know that he's Professor X's son. They didn't talk about it. They had over an hour to do that. They showed snippets of him being young, which is okay.
He has no idea who's his dad. That's another reason.
I think they'll go into that, because they're already kind of teasing, talking about his mom, but they don't mention anything about his dad. I think they'll go into that. I just hope we figure out what's real and what's not. I think what the whole premise of this is that he's going to actually figure out what reality is, because he's thought all of his life he's just a schizophrenic. Now he's realizing he's a mutant, and then he's going to realize eventually he's an Omega level mutant, the strongest one. So I think it's just him figuring out himself, so to speak, throughout this whole thing. I think it's going to be good. It actually ended up having a little bit of mixed reviews compared to what we thought. That's just kind of the vibe I got online. People thought it was going to be overwhelmingly positive. I think some of the questions that came with some of the stuff that they were throwing at you, planting all these seeds. I think some people were getting frustrated just because they weren't able to figure out what was going on right away.
All right.
I'm kind of of the mindset where I like things to keep me guessing. So
I think this show's gonna
kept
keep
me
us
more interested.
This show's gonna do that to us. It's gonna make you like guess, like, is this real? Not real? Is he? Because remember, like you said, he has 12 personalities. He sees things that other people don't see. You could see him 1 minute with this group of people, and next thing you know, he's somewhere else. Like he's pretty much gonna be teaming up with a group of people, or he's gonna be running constantly during the whole season.
And the actors are really good. So this is, if you have any questions, this is nothing to discard the actors whatsoever. They are all really, really good. Even the people who took more of a back seat and just were kind of in the background roles and just had a few lines here or there, they were all really, really good. So any questions you may have, and if you're a little frustrated out there, if you're one of those people that had that kind of mixed feeling, I would give it another 2 episodes at least before you give up on it.
Right.
Because it's visually, it's really good. They are really giving this a lot of attention, I think, compared to the X-Men cinematic universe. So you're gonna get your Omega level mutant, but it feeling personal in that world of the X-Men, I really think, and it's definitely gonna get better from here if you're a little skeptical in the first episode.
For me, I definitely know that those guys that was interviewing him, they know what he is, and they
were scared. He's like, you're scared of me, and they're like,
they're going to be part of his. They're going to be part of this whole show, like chasing him. They're going to try to capture him. You know what I'm saying?
They're like, the secret government.
Yeah, they pretty much are the secret government
people or whatever.
Why am I so important?
We're at war, and we're losing. And you may be the most powerful mutant alive.
They're going to be interviewing. They're probably going to find other people similar to him.
It's a trope, but it works because it adds a level of mystery. And we know that from the X-Men movies, there were people like this anyway. Mm-hmm. So it's not like it's discounting stuff that happens in this type of world anyway. And they did pick the right time frame because that's when people were starting to figure out what mutants were. That was completely brand new then. If something like that happened now, those shadow organizations would already be established and they'd have a system in check to deal with somebody like him.
Exactly. So, if you enjoyed the show, tell us what did you enjoy about the show. If you had some negative thoughts on it, go ahead and drop it in the comments, subscribe, and wait until next episode. We'll review that one too.
And hit that notification bell also so you get more videos like this on your newsfeed.
Peace out.
Bye.